from 88 miles per hour to 94 miles per hour in just 3 months. That's exactly what Ben just did after remote training with me. The difference between 88 miles per hour and 94 miles per hour is an average Division II pitcher versus a potential pro prospect. It wasn't magic, it wasn't gimmicks, and it certainly wasn't luck. It was just hard work in every aspect of his game that I gave him through remote training. I see and I show so many great transformations through my programming, but at the same time, I'll never take credit for the hard work that these pitchers put in, because without that, my programming means nothing. But the point is, if you put in the work, my program will work for you. It is extremely rare to be able to throw 94 miles per hour, but it's even more rare when you look at how he was 88 miles per hour just 3 months before it. And if you know anything about gaining velo, especially in those high ranges, once you get to 90 miles per hour, every tick is like a mile. Each of these ticks can take months, if not years, to gain. So to be able to go from 88 to 94 in 3 months is crazy. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly what we did to work with Ben, especially on his mechanics, so you're going to want to stick around for the end of this video. If you don't know me yet, my name is Carter Endisch. I am a Doctor of Physical Therapy student and current pitcher at Lewis University, and I have helped pitchers gain up to 12 miles per hour with my remote programming, and I've also trained clients like Ben here who went from 88 to 94 miles per hour in just 3 months. Ben and I actually met for the first time by playing together in the Northwoods League with the Eau Claire Express. After learning about my background with developing pitchers, he immediately asked me if he could be one of my athletes. At the time when we first met, he told me that his lifetime PR was around 90 miles per hour, but that he hadn't hit over 88 miles an hour in over 3 months. Not only was he stuck, he was actually actively losing velocity. To try to get a feel for him and his mechanics, I started working with him in his pre- and post-game bullpens. Our in-person work didn't last very long as I left the Northwoods League, but we continued our work through remote training. So I was left with Ben, a college freshman who's 6'4" and stuck at 88 miles per hour and actually losing velocity. The biggest thing that stood out to me with him was clearly his mechanical flaws in the mound, so that's where the focus of this video is going to be. One thing that I'm absolutely huge on is not rushing down the mound. Instead, being patient into your leg lift so then you can snap down when you're ready. What you'll see in these early videos with Ben is the exact opposite. The first movement that you'll see with Ben is him immediately sit down into his back leg, which only leaves him with 2 options. Since he was so early, he would either have to slow down for everything else to catch up, or the rest of his body would be super late. In Ben's case specifically, his body slowed down in order to allow his arm to catch up. So you'll see his initial sit, and then almost a pause, and then a really slow move down the mound to allow everything else to catch up. The main issues from him stem from just wanting to get down the mound so fast. This position is where his largest problems were noticed. Take a look here at where Ben's head and upper body is compared to the midline of his body. As a general rule of thumb, once front foot strike happens, you want to see the head be either directly in line with the belt or just behind it. So when you look at Ben, you see that his head is really wanting to creep forward, and overall he's just super eager to get down to the plate. Look at how far his arm lagged behind. His arm flips up here, and instead of it being in a proper position with the elbow at shoulder height and bent at 90 degrees, his arm is super far away from his body. This arm being so far away from him made it almost impossible to actually pull down on the ball or rip with the force that he otherwise could have. Last but certainly not least, actually probably the most important, check out his lower half here. When I see a pitcher with legs that look like this, I call them backwards. What you would ideally like to see in a lower half is that the rear leg is internally rotated and not extended, and that lead leg would ideally be out in front of the body with a strong block. There are definitely some guys that have a slightly bent front knee while blocking, which is fine, but we definitely need to see that knee at least behind the foot a little bit more and stop all forward movement after front foot strike. Going back to Ben, since he started to sit so early and then extended off his backside, his entire front side was over his front foot. You can see his knee here be almost directly over his foot, and that block is overall just not very strong. Now that you've seen all the negative aspects of his mechanics before we started, now you're going to see the updated mechanics after working with me. Right away when you see this video, you're going to notice a much more patient initial move, but watching at full speed, you're going to see much more aggressive and powerful late actions. Now that he isn't rushing down the mound and extending towards the plate, look at this position at front foot strike. No more of the top half bending forwards, and check out where his arm is compared to the rest of his body. This is a much more capable position to throw out of, and that arm is no longer dragged away from the body, and he is patiently waiting to fire. Probably the most obvious difference, even to an untrained eye, is that lead leg. Look at how beautiful this block is now. It's aggressive, well-timed, and that foot is well in front of the body, including that front knee to be able to block and shoot all the energy back up the chain. I could seriously watch that updated video of Ben throwing all day long. I'm so proud of the changes that we made together, and he's seriously going to be an elite arm this spring. Going from 88 miles per hour to 94 miles per hour in just 3 months is extremely difficult, and it's really almost impossible without the help of a coach. And it's not at all just about getting any coach. You need a coach that's actually educated enough to be able to assess your mechanics, give you lifting, throwing, mobility, and anything else that you may need. While Ben's mechanics were the focus of this video, what wasn't shown was his commitment to the strength program, the mobility work, and everything else that I included in my programming. And I just want to reiterate, the great transformations that I see do not happen without the pitchers that actually put in the work, so thank you to Ben for committing to my program. Ben is going to absolutely take over this spring, and I can't wait to watch him. If you're ready to transform your career like Ben did, DM me the word clean on Instagram at endisch.performance. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you next week with more content to help you grow.